All right, good morning. It's close to 10 o'clock. Here for our Monday, August 17th, Board of Supervisor meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda in the minutes?
I approve as presented. I move to approve as presented.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Any public comment, agenda items only? None, moving on to new business claims.
Claims are prepared, sir.
Move to approve the claims as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Any payroll?
Not have any payroll.
In drainage?
I do not have any drainage either. Thanks for the update on those pictures.
Absolutely.
Looks like I need a motion to authorize the NIACOG Intergovernmental Review Consultation Form for USDA Rural Housing Development Grant.
So move.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Brandon.
Good morning. I'll start off by talking about equipment. The loader that we're going to have on rent from John Deere until we decide if we're going to buy it here in a year or two will hopefully show up on Wednesday this week. We have our grader bids for our next grader will be due on Wednesday at 1 p.m. So hopefully I'll post to you guys to let you know what the decision is possibly next week. We'll have to see. I'll be at ISAC towards the end of the week, so I slow down the decision-making process. Might hold it off for another week, but we sent out bids to Cat and John Deere, so we'll get bid from both of them on that. Equipment being broke right now. We have our number 31, that truck that has the 6 cylinders getting rebuilt, refreshed on them because of that copper we found in the bill samples from the wrist pin going bad. And then we have a mower down the HVAC system getting rebuilt on it. Those things are greenhouse, so without air conditioning, there's no way to properly drive them. We have to have the door shut to filter the air so that they don't have to, have all the silicate problems and all that stuff. So it's a bigger issue than you think. So that'll be done. Hopefully that'll be back up this week. The other truck that had transmission noises on it, that's back together. It'll be completed today and back on the road. So the only major one we have is that 31 with the engine rebuilt. It should hopefully be done this week also. So we'll see how that one ends up. Project wise, water is completely paved. The shouldering is done on it. We're just waiting for the paint. So that hopefully will be open this week. Project is completed. It came in right about at the estimated amount. So that went well. Today is the letting for our Lark Avenue project, the repave there over the avenue up to Mason city limits. So I'll have that possibly next week for you guys. The DOT is pretty quick at turning around the paperwork on that.
Was that Thrush or?
Yeah, Thrush, yep. Going up towards NIACOG there. California, whatever it's called in town. Yep.
So is that railroad track involved?
Yeah, we'll be doing that as part of this. We weren't sure if we're gonna be able to get the clearance from the railroad in time, but they came through at the 11th hour and got us what we needed to have them in the project. So yeah, that'll be corrected as much as we can. The crossing itself won't get touched, but the approaches and will be done.
That's a nasty crossing.
Yeah, we're trying to get them to do maintenance on the crossing while the project's going on. See if that can get coordinated or not. Building wise, I don't have any updates on the Rockwell building for progress. We haven't made any leaps towards getting the construction started on that yet. And I don't have any fence updates for Mason City. They haven't responded to me. So I don't have any new updates for that. I'm hoping we have it done. I would like to say August, but I'm guessing it'd be September before they get it done just because of radio silence. So it means they haven't gotten materials in yet.
They're going to be proactive with Q&A before you get to it.
I stopped out and checked on him Friday.
There's stakes up there for the corners so they know where they need to go to get the fence in the right spots. I guess that's all I had for you guys, unless you have anything else for me.
The Rockwell shop, does it have the fans in it?
Yeah, there's recirculation in it. I think it's yeah.
And as a percentage, how much is of our equipment is down?
Oh, we have like 60 some pieces of equipment, so we have.
It's very low because all you talk about is all of our broken stuff. So I didn't want the public thinking that
No,
you keep buying lemons.
no, the majority of it's working perfectly.
Good.
There's a few problem children that just continually break, but we're working on getting those either put into a spare roll or rotated out of the fleet. And really, it's not, that motor is major, obviously, but most of the time it's nothing major. It gets handled internally for the most part.
It's good.
Do you hear any more on, campground over by Rock Falls since lowered the speed limit there?
I haven't heard any responses at all, so it must be making a difference because I haven't gotten any complaints. I did put the radars out there, the one that I borrowed, that radar traffic counter out there, and people are following it. Now, when I say following it, they're reducing their speed by 10 miles an hour. I say they're going to speed them, but the speeds were reduced from what they were before. It did make a difference in the average speed on the road.
Moving on to item number 6.
So this is a strange intersection. It's where two gravel roads meet and then they angle off to intersect the paved road. And there was a stop sign on Yarrow. And then there was a stop sign where it intersected the paved road very close to each other. It's not handled that way in any other part of the county. Usually it's a yield sign before the stop sign. So, it was requested by a constituent that be changed the same situation as we have in the rest of the county. So we investigated it and I looked into it, and it's my recommendation that we change that stop sign to a yield sign at that intersection preceding the stop at the pavement.
He's been after this for just over a year now, I think. I would move resolution 2026 number 58 to approve that change.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right, resolution 58 is adopted. Number 7.
Okay, so this is a problematic intersection we have out in the county. It's where B20 had a two-way stop and Eagle went through, and people run stop signs and people going on Eagle don't think that, or they assume that people on B20 are going to stop and they don't. So in light of that, to try and limit the speed of the incidents as they occur or the frequency of them, it's my suggestion that we turn it to a 4-way stop. And then we upgrade the signs to blinking signs that's like the blue stop, and the outlet of the sign themselves blink. And then we're gonna put blinking lights on the 4 warning signs, the 3 warning signs to make it more obvious. We'll also add the rumble strips as part of this. We're gonna coordinate it so it's all installed at the same time. The same point where the rumble strips are added is the day that we're gonna add the sign and all 3 warnings and everything in there. So it'll go from nothing to a 4-way all of a sudden. So what I'm planning to do is make signs like we do for construction, kind of put a warning out there to the public that this is going to be a 4-way stop. Once we get some kind of schedule worked out with Harvard and this when they're going to come out there, so we can give some people some heads up that there's going to be a change. And then so we'll put all the signs out there with the flags and the bucket strips and the lights and just make it obvious.
It's Heartland, the rumble strips.
Yeah, they're just going to mill it. So we won't put any concrete panel in there, we'll just mill the surface of it. And the next time we do a head project, I put concrete rumble strips in there instead of the asphalt. So they should work fine for quite a while as asphalt rumble strips.
So my only concern is that north-south, commonly called the fertile blacktop.
Yep.
I've traveled that for many years. I know exact intersection, but when they come up that, there's a little incline to the
We're gonna extend the pre-warning farther to the north than we normally would, just to get it to a point on the hill where they can see it as they're coming, before they can see the intersection, to try and give them an extra warning.
And I'm not against it, so don't take me wrong, but how many accidents in the last 10 years have we had at that intersection? Did the sheriff's department ever give you anything?
They didn't give me anything directly, but I have access to the data on that. But there's also a lot of unreported incidents there, because you can find pieces of vehicle, out there more often than we do crash reports back. So I think there's a lot of incidents that we don't know about on top of the ones that we do. This was an intersection that was identified from when we got had a little county review for our safety action plan. It's one of our riskiest rural intersections. And this was one of the suggestions they made, is to make it a four-way stop like this with all the lights. And the next step on this is to roll around the ball in that spot. But that's a considerable cost difference. And this is gonna cost us like $10,000 to upgrade this intersection. But it's worth it if we can avoid stuff. Where the road roundabouts can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I think this is a better first step to see if we can limit the accidents or hopefully eliminate them without going to a drastic step.
And I'll just be curious if we, what do you want to say, monitor this one going forward, just to see, because I'd be really burdened or curious to know what the accident rate was the last 20 years, or, because I foresee that as more accidents if there now with this change, because people are just, they've been doing it for decades.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna monitor, the serious incident accident. So not just the number, but the severity of the accidents will be looking at that for sure. Because if it makes it worse, we definitely, I'll come back to you guys and talk to you honestly about it, saying that this doesn't work. But we gotta give it a little time to get people used to it again.
I move to approve resolution 2026-59 as presented.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment. When we started looking into this year, we had a constituent approach our representative, Christian Hermanson, at the state. Hermanson brought it to us. We asked you to look at it. You worked with the sheriff. You came up with a proposal. And I'm very happy that you did that. The fact that our local government is working, whether people approach the state or they approach us first, either way, we look into it and we get things done. So a constituent had a concern with information. We're coming up with a solution. So thank you for working diligently on that.
Hey, Brandon, I also, when you're going to roll this out, probably be beneficial to work with local media.
Yep.
Get the word out. I don't know, anything else, whether we put out our sheriff's department radar thing on, going either way, just anything to heighten the awareness for a while.
Sheriff Department can put it on their Facebook site also. I mean, not everybody in the world sees that, but maybe enough people do that it'll get around and help also.
Sounds good. We've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. The resolution is adopted. Anything else for the good of the cause? If not, I would.
Move to adjourn.
Yeah. Second, second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned.